have mother tongue. But in Ghana, if not the whole of Africa, we now
claim that this is our language. This is a big issue. You see, what the Caucasian had was that I keep saying, they discovered the power of their mind and used it against us. They also had languages and they chose one language. Colonize the whole world. So that they can speak, they want to make everyone have a long way to go. Travel issue, and when we meet, we don't talk about these things. We cover it, and when we go, it's eating us deep down. And if we don't start talking about it now, our children, the next generation will keep being in slavery till thy kingdom come. We have issue with tribal differences. Tribal issues are eating us. How can we solve these issues? Can we boldly say as Ghanaians, among all the languages that we have, let's choose Ghana as our national language? Will the West accept? Will Ashantis accept? Will the ones accept? These are the real issues. And when we meet, let's talk about these things. If not, the mother tongue, Ghana, we don't have any language. The only language we have is English, and that's what we are going to speak. Because had it not been that, I wouldn't have communicated with my brothers and sisters from the diaspora. They can't speak G, they can't spek Ewe, they can't speak Gan. The only available language now is English. So if you don't teach your children how to speak English, how can they communicate with the outside world? But supposing we have chosen Ewe, Akan, Gan, One, whatever it is, okay. From henceforth, our national language is One or whatever, Gan. We are good to go. Then we begin to learn Gan. But I will teach my children Ewe. She teaches her children Gan. The other person teaches her children Probo. And then when that's confusing. That's not organization. It's not proper organization. So if really we are talking about mother tongue, if really we are talking about emancipation, African emancipation, let us hold the bull by the horn. The tribal differences. We are too much attached to our tribal differences to the extent that if we decide to take Akan as a national language, me as an Ewe, I'll oppose it. Because I wish Ewe is supposed to be used. So can we now start talking about promoting, choosing one of our languages? If it is Akan, because across board, there are a lot of Akan speaking people. So why can't we push for that? Why are we afraid? Why are we afraid? Thank you very much.
In relation to what you just said, I want to channel it through disability or maybe physically handicapped case. You know, some of us, I can't say maybe all of us, so upon all the education that we are giving out, people still look down upon people with disabilities. Yes, and I'm so sad. You know, when we go down, there are so many people that they are doing volunteer work, whereby one way or the other is not genuine. So maybe if you are one of them, please just disassociate yourself from that. It's not the best. Yes, a lot of people do that because of their personal interest. You know, if you don't have a challenge, or if you are not in the same situation with someone, I don't think you can experience whatever that we persons with disabilities are going through. I'm going to add what happened that I lost my hand. I was born beautiful, able young lady, whereby my schoolmates pushed me down. Much attention wasn't given to me. So my hand got rotten and they needed to amputate it. I was 13 years and I saw my hand. Do you get it? And how my parents, my siblings went through, I'm a twin, how my twin sister went through, especially my mom, you know, it was very terrible. But you know, through it all, God has been so good. And now I'm also imparting life to other people with disabilities.
Sure.
So right now, I'm just showing my first this is my first storybook. Yes. First storybook, whereby I've titled it "The Bless My Ability Over My Disabilities." So meaning that there are so many people that we normally come across that they are one way or the other physically handicapped, even though there are some disabilities whereby it is not easy to identify hidden ones. So when you see someone who has a deformity, please make sure that either not just because of maybe money issue, you can just advise psychological trauma and a whole lot of things. You can just calm the person down, talk to the person. If you can even give that particular person an idea, it is very good and it will help. So thank you very much, and let us all learn to appreciate with persons with disabilities.
That's right. Sir, I want to, you were blaming parents for not engaging their children in their mother tongue. But I bet because teachers are also part of the problem. If you visit some of the schools and it's boldly written that no vernacular. Yes. You have no right to speak any mother's tongue here. And if you dare speak that mother tongue, you will be punished. And that is causing a lot of problems. Because of that, parents are also trying to get the children abreast of the language so that when they go to school, they will not be punished. So I think it should be a shared responsibility. It's a national challenge that we all need to come together and fight it and not to shift blames. Thank you.
Hello. Let me just make my last point. What I want to say is that nobody rules again on the parents to forcefully speak English to the child at home. Are you with me? The school situation, the school environment is where you have sent the child to go through some form of education. But education starts from the house. So there is no fast rule that because the children are made to compulsorily speak English in school, then you and I should abandon our languages. No, there is no rule like that. But for a good understanding of everything we are talking about here, if we do not speak our languages well to our children, even the excellent rapport that we have to have with our children is even a problem. Thank you very much.
There's somebody behind you, I think. The hand has been up for a long time.
On local language, speaking local language, our local languages with our kids, me as a complementary basic education facilitator do agree that we should always start with the local language with the kids at home, because we deal with out of school children and we take them through with the local language. Let's say if we find yourself in the northern region and your native language is Dagomba, we teach you in Dagomba for 9 months before we integrate you into the formal school. And interestingly enough, most of the kids from our side do better than those who are already in school. And also on promoting Africa and who we are, there was one, I think, speaker who said he promotes African soaps and all that, and he made mention that I think they had to sell out shea butter to some Indians and all that, and that shea butter, there's no shea butter in this world which is yellow. So when we are packaging what we have, please let's package it well. I am from the northern part of Ghana, a Kusasi by tribe, a proud Kusasi for that matter. I'm from Garu, and I know how to prepare shea butter. There's no shea butter which is yellow. If you see shea butter which is yellow, it means that there have been an added color. So let's try to always package what we have well to the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My first question is to all the panelists.
I hope it's the last question.
Please, I want to know, when did kids, please, do you involve the parents? Because me standing here, by the special grace of God, I've been to school, and I'm an open-minded person. Sometimes you go to school, you learn certain things, you come back to the house, you try to do it. Parents try to, stop you from doing it. Second one, when it comes to chose a nickname that would link to break. The person just came back, two-faced, one eye, what's up? It really break me down. Somebody even went on 3 years after SHS. The person came back to insult me. But I have a way. Music has been my friend. Music has been my mother. Music has been my father.
What's your name?
Isaac Mande. I even went to propose to a lady. The lady told me point blank, I don't want a guy with one eye. Due to that, I've not been myself. I'm finding ways to find myself.
Isaac, shall we clap for Isaac? Let's motivate Isaac. Isaac, we see with our mind, we just look with our eyes.
That's right.
We see with our mind, Isaac, we just look with the eyes. That is why, with all due respect, if a person has no ability to look with the eye, yet you speak to that person and he understands and sees with the mind, he says, oh, I see. We listen with the ear, but we hear with our emotions. That is why a man can watch football. The wife or the spouse speaks to him. He said, He said, what did I say? He said, huh? We talk with our mouths, but we speak from the heart. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth. So ordinarily, the mouth talks. That is why the name, when people make noise in the classroom, what is the name we give them? Talkatives or speakatives? The person in the parliament, what name do we give him? The leader. The speaker of parliament, not the talker of love for all, hatred for none. By the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. They say love for all, hatred for none, and humanity first. If we as a people, Africans, if we believe in ourselves and we learn to tell our story, from my experience, be you an African Muslim, an African Christian, an African traditionalist, the core is African. The rest is a choice. Our forefathers had these Adinkra symbols years before the white man came here. One of them is called Jinyame, means accept God. Nya means get, me means me. Onyankopon, Kro means one, Pon means the greatest. If you read Arabic, Allahu Akbar means God is the greatest. And our forefathers said, Onyankopon, I've gotten the one greatest. So it is not Islam that is teaching the African the oneness of God, or Christianity. We knew the oneness of God before.
Very good. Very good.
So I can be a Muslim, but as an African, I knew Allahu Akbar as an African before Islam came. As a Christian, I knew God is one as an African before Christianity came. So we must emancipate our minds to realize that Africa has something unique. Look at the chiefs sitting here. Look at their dresses. That is African. That is beautiful. Look at our chief there as well. But the chiefs from the north wear different things. Chiefs from the south, different things. It is up to us to showcase the beauty. Look at the post, the staff you are holding. It has a meaning. The symbols there all have meanings. It is up to us. Scientifically, what we are doing, CSIR as the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, where I work as a science, technology, and innovation policy researcher, we are incubating our African youth, especially the women, who have business acumen, but they don't have anywhere or any mentors or coaches, scientists, technologists to support them. We have 13 institutes. If you want anything on animals, come and speak to CSIR Animal Research Institute. Anything on crops, CSIR Crop Research Institute in Kumasi. Anything on water, fishes in water, underground water, surface water, speak to CSIR Water Research. Anything on artificial intelligence, robotics. And today we are also looking our local situation, make it relevant without compromising the quality and ability to pass on our local indigenous technology.
Yes.
And we are putting it down, we are writing.
Yes.
That's why we have journals,
Love
articles. So it is up to us to sell ourselves to the world.
Amen.
I'm made in Africa, but for the world.
Yes.
We have been entrapped with titles of doctor, professor, and all that. The philosophers who taught the professors never had university education.
Thank you.
When I was studying chemistry, Kekule, the man who drew the benzene ring, he was just having a dream that benzene ring looked like a snake, and we studied it up to the PhD level. Newton, the law of relativity, apple and leaf, and all these things came down at the same time. People were thinkers. Doctor means a teacher. PhD, philosophy, philomena means to love, or something to think. Doctor to teach. So PhD, the teacher who loves to think. If you don't teach, we remove the D and call you a philosopher, those who love to think. Our forefathers were thinkers. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, was a thinker. That is why he was a geographer, a medical person, and all that. But we need to highlight, just as Her Excellency said, the names of our people who did something in our cultures. If you read the Quran, it tells you that every group of people, God sent a prophet to them. Who says Kobanachi was not a prophet? Who says somebody in our locality was not a prophet? If you read the Bible, it tells you the same thing. You read the Torah, it tells you the same thing. The lack of knowledge, my people perish. And that is why those who lack the full knowledge of humanity, excuse me, let's all do this, if you can do this. Make a set. You see this space here? This is all we know. Ibrahim, this is all I know, this space. Have you seen the space here? What I don't know, which is bigger? What we know and what we don't know, which is bigger? What we don't know. That is why we need to have an open mind, so we become one with the unlimited infinitesimal knowledge. But if we are closed as Muslims, as Christians, as Jews, as traditionalists, as this, that, then we only know there is small space. We are missing what we don't know. That is why in Islam, it said that if knowledge is in China and you have to crawl, you have to go for it. That is why in Christianity, he says the lack of knowledge, my people perish. That is why in Judaism, it is also there. Knowledge is the source of wisdom. And in tradition, we say go to the old ladies for knowledge.
Amen.
And that is why in Africa, women are worshipped. Women are our queens. If you read the Quran too, Prophet Muhammad said that apart from God, if you have to worship somebody, it's your mother. And the second time, your mother. The third time, your mother. And the fourth time, he said your father.
Well, maybe I can add to it.
Thank you.
That was great.
Can I say something?
Okay, please, can we take some questions?
One thing, as he said about the mother, I used to curse them because of Christianity. In Suriname, they use the word Mama Isa. Mama Isa, meaning mother, that the creator. So to me, for Christianity, it's not the mother, it's God. But yesterday, I came to understand why they put a doll on their back when they put their tie. The Creole people is that the mother carries the baby, Isa. But I thought it was satanic. So now you speak, it's not satanic, as he rightfully said. Everybody, Christians, Muslim, humanity is very important, and there is a creator of humanity, and we cannot put it in blockius. So let's use that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom.
This,
Hello, thank you very much. That mothers are speaking English to their children when they are even in the womb. When even if they breastfeed them, they speak English. Ama Ata Egu of blessed memory was the writer, a renowned writer, of which I'm a member of the General Association of Writers. She said that when we talk about literature, the first and foremost thing is language. And that most of the things that she wrote, she just translated them from her rich fancy from the grandmother and mother into English. Now, we don't know where we are putting our children, and we ourselves too. We don't know whether we have a mother tongue or not. So we have confused our children to the extent that what Madame said yearly, right? The Ghana Education Service has a program that we have been running. Some are being supported by USA Learning and other NGOs. But most parents insist that as for our children, English, oh, English. That is the problem. Most of the learned people we have heard about today, who can speak English grammar proper, how many of their parents spoke English to them? They spoke the mother tongue with wisdom to them, and they carried it from there. I want to make an appeal. I am a writer. I like writing children's books. I have some manuscripts there, which I would like to publish. I've even discussed with one of the artists here, who has agreed to do some illustrations for my books for me. If anybody here or any organization can be of help for the publication of such books, I will welcome it. Meanwhile, I have few of my books outside there. Some I didn't do ever in the university, but I'm able to write ever, even though I was a science student. Because that is my first mother tongue. I am Dangwe and ever. But my main mother's tongue is ever. And I'm able to, I'll be science, but I'm writing ever. Let's speak our languages to our children. It is not the quantum of English that we speak to our children in the house that will make them knowledgeable. I am done.
And she started when she was 4 years old. And when she became the national icon, I was not even 10 years old yet. And from that time on, she's our star. Malena, wow. She is mixed. She's maroon and she's Creole. So she's the real African Kanka, African woman. Malena, wow.
I want to thank my ambassador, the representative of my country, of our country, and I want to thank you all. I'm so sad, but I'm going to make it just now. I don't like to talk too much. I'm going to do much with you just now. Many thanks.
speak on her behalf. So please tell us about it.
Well, what you just said it in English and translated to Dutch. What you can tell you more about her African heritage in Suriname. She belongs, you see, we have two ethnic groups in Suriname of African descent. We have the Creoles and we have the Maroons. They used to call the Maroons bushland Creole or bush Negroes, but they are Maroons who freed themselves from slavery since slavery started in the country. She, her father's side, is belongs to the Okanisi Maroon, and I hear Okanisi. They give the name of a plantation called Oka. But when we came to Ghana, Okanisi is a God name. Okamsi. So now we think it's both ways. Africa and the plantation, Okanisi. Her father belongs to the Mississippian people of the Comowena River. Comowena River is a river where you have both Creole plantations and you have Maroons living there. And the Maroon people that are living there are from the Okanisi tribe because they are in different rivers and under the jurisdiction of Ghana. And her song, she intertwined the Maroon style and the Creole style. That is what makes her so beautiful. And others that are also beautiful, but it makes her beautiful for many, many years now.